Say this with me if you can. I celebrate every success, big or small, because each one proves how far I've come. Ashe. All right, our word of the day is triumph. It's not a trophy, but growth and grit. And I even have an urban slang word for y'all today. So if anybody knows the word Nugent, I haven't heard it. I don't know, I don't know what they're using in the context for nowadays, but the definition of it is for someone new in a community or idea. I haven't heard anybody use that word, tell you honestly, but it's supposedly a new dictionary slang word. So we can try to use it in any context we want, but we gonna make it a word that we use anyway. All right, on to the news and weather for today, starting with New York. City Council approves $1 billion in flood and heat infrastructure upgrades. Wow, that has to help. That has to be really needed right now in New York for some reason. I don't really know what the insides of this is, but hopefully it helps and upgrades New York where it needs to be upgraded. Weather, you guys are going to be foggy, then sunny with a high of 84. Los Angeles Arts Festival breaks records, highlighting Black creators. The weather there today is going to be sunny with a high of 88. Chicago, new Southside Tech Hub opens, boosting Black-owned startups. That's good. The weather there today is going to be partly sunny with a high of 67. Well, you can tell when the weather's changing. We in fall, but it's soon going to be winter. Atlanta, HBCU Cultural Fest draws citywide crowds. The weather there is going to be hot and clear with a high of 90. Houston, food truck pilot launches and HBCU Cultural Fest draws citywide crowds. Houston, food truck pilot launches in underserved neighborhoods. That's what I meant to say. Weather there today is going to be a high of 95. Washington, D.C. Museum launches Black Women in STEM exhibit. Oh, I would like to see that. Weather is going to be clear and high of 89. Miami. Youth volunteers lead Everglades cleanup initiative. Hope they watch out for them alligators. Storms. They're going to have storms, and it's going to be a high of 86. In Toronto today, Harvest Fest celebrates Black Canadian chefs. Their weather is going to be cloudy and windy with a high of 72. In Vancouver, the city okays new mental health wellness center. That's good. Weather is going to be hazy in the high of 78. In Kingston, Jamaica, bless up everyone. Reggae Boys in World Cup qualifier spotlight. Weather there is going to be cloudy with showers in the high 90s. Montego Bay, tourism campaign promotes sustainable travel. Weather there today is going to be 86 degrees. And in Ocho Rios, beach cleanup unites locals and visitors. The weather there is going to be sun and later on with storms of a high of 87. Negril, lighthouse reopens after renovation. Weather there is going to be high 89. And that is your news and weather for this morning. Now we're on to sports. Now, y'all know yesterday was the first day of the football season. Did anybody see that game? It was tough, but the score just kept going up and they were tied, and it was a really good game. Overall, the Eagles win with a thrilling win over the Cowboys. I was actually going for the Eagles, tell you honestly. My sister was rooting for the Cowboys, but yeah, Eagles pulled it out. In baseball, Major League Baseball, Pirates dominate the Dodgers, Yankees, and Phillies also win. Jamaican sports, Reggae Boys qualifier spotlight. All right, now on to African American history today. Well, in African American history. On September 5th, 1859, Harriet Wilson publishes Arne, first novel by an African American woman in the United States. In 1960, Cassius Clay, as we all know him as Muhammad Ali, wins Olympic gold medal. In 1989, Oprah Winfrey launches Harpo Studios. Inventor spotlight, Marjorie Stewart Joyner invented permanent waving machine. And our quote of the day, if you fight hard, know who you are, and are proud of who you are, you've got a good chance of winning. By Walter Lincoln Hawkins. In music and culture today, the music pick of the week is Golden by Hunter X. He's number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And in celebrity news, Beyonce announces 2026 World Tour dates. Look out for those. Michael B. Jordan signs on to direct Creed 4. I still have to go back and watch 2 and 3. And Zendaya honored with NAAC Image Award for Challengers. All right, we got lifestyle today. Foodie Friday. Now, guess what the food is for today? Collard greens with smoked turkey. That makes me hungry already. And if you actually are into wine, pairing it with a nice sangria goes perfectly. In travel, the number 1 spot right now for families in travel is Orlando. I guess because I'm assuming what Disney World is there, or Sea World and stuff like that for family, like for family vacations. For a girls' trip, they're suggesting Montego Bay. I wonder why. And if you are trying to go somewhere with your boo, they are suggesting Santorini. I've never heard of that, but if it's a romantic spot, I'm with it. And our relationships quick tip for today. Communicate feelings early, not after the storm. Communication is key in any relationship that you have. So if it's the beginning of a relationship, make your feelings known. Know what you expect. Let them know what you expect, what you want to get out of this relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is. And don't wait until you get into a disagreement or you fighting over something, because, most of the time when you're in a kind of argument or disagreement, you're going to say things you really don't mean. So just get those communication feelings and everything out in the open. And I'm quite sure you'll have a better relationship. Communication is key in any relationship, like I said. It goes along with trust, loyalty. And my thing is, if you don't have good communication in a relationship, it's just not going to work. All right. We are going to go into finance. Finance tip of the day is 10% of what you bring home. That 10% is for you. That 10% is for those emergencies. You know what I mean? And it's good to have that because you never know when you're going to need it. Plus, you work real hard. Pay yourself. Pay yourself first. Um, and mental health. What small victory are you carrying today? What have you completed? What have you accomplished? You know, um, what are you proud of? I know for me, small victories are being able to, once the first of the month come around, pay my bills. Know I have a roof over my head at least, if anything. Um, Taking a walk, getting my 30 minutes of exercise in a day. Um, Giving good advice to someone that needs it, being there for someone that needs someone to talk to, being a listening ear, those are small victories for me. Self-care tip for men today. Take a brisk 15-minute walk today to boost heart health. We know that most men are scared to go to the doctor, you know, but you need to do that no matter what. Anything that doesn't feel right, your body, go to the doctor. I know it's hard. Men don't like to do it a lot, but you rather be safe than sorry. Um, Self-care for women today. Take a 5-minute midday breathing reset to manage stress. Um, a 5-minute breathing technique is breathe in 7 seconds, breathe out 4 seconds slowly. And just do that a couple of times during the day because we know when we at work, you have those coworkers that get on your nerves, a boss that might get on your nerves. Just take a breather, you know. Kids might get on your nerves, husband, significant other might get on your nerves. Just take a breather. It helps it to relieve the stress and it cools down your blood pressure. So just, take that little time for yourself. Uh, Self-care tip in beauty. Gentle facial massage with moisturizer boosts circulation. This not isn't over only for women, but can be for men too. They have a lot of men that go to spas and even like when they're in the barber chair, sometimes they put stuff on their face. Just take that facial moisturizer and just in a circular motion, just gently put it into your face. Um, it helps with keeping your skin moist. And if you wear makeup, it helps to keep that makeup on your face and you don't sweat as much through it. All right, we're going to go to Writer's Corner. I know there's a lot of writers out there or wannabe writers that want to write a book and you don't know where to start. First, you start with that idea. Start with an idea and all of your ideas. I find it easy to use the brainstorming method. And what you do is that you just start writing all your thoughts regarding what the book is about, your characters, your plot. Write all that stuff down, and then what you do is that you make kind of like an outline, and in that outline you put how your story is going to be developed, the whole storyline, and write it down so that when you actually start writing your book, you have a guide to go by. Your first draft is going to be messy. It's not going to be perfect, but whatever you do, just continue to write, continue to write, continue to write. You can go back and do the editing. So if I'll be giving you more writer's tips every day, from now on. Now we have a tech tip. Try using Miro, a shared digital whiteboard, to plan or show and brainstorm ideas. That's kind of good for what I was just talking about as far as your book, starting your book, and writing the outline. It lets you team collaborative live with sticky notes, timelines, or segment flows. Drop in images and links and keeps everyone visual so you're not flipping through scattered notes. Works on a desktop, tablet, or phone. So I'm assuming this is an app that you can use to share with your team as far as at work or with other people. And like how we use share your screen, you can share your screen and you can do all these things with people on the phone or your tablet or your laptop. Next week I want to start a portion of with the mental health portion. I would like to start a journal, and if anyone's interested, I will always put what that journal prompt will be. And what you do with a journal prompt is I'll have like a sentence or a question, and you just write. You write. It helps with mental health, writing things down, so that you can get it out so you're not boggled with it and thinking about it all the time. People always say, just get it out, write it, write it down. It does help, you know. So for Monday, if anyone is interested, our journal prompt will be name 3 ways you uplifted someone this week. And that can be in conversation with, family, coworkers, friends. Who did you uplift this week? Even if it was yourself, you know. Thank you, Trey Wilson. Thank you. And if it was, even like I said, even if it was yourself, and it's weird but to say, but everybody talk to themselves, so what did you overcome yourself this week? Just write it down. We're not sharing it with anyone. We're not putting anything, online or nothing like that. It's just for you, for a reference. And like I said, it's for you to get it out, you know. So we're going to do that starting next week. Now I have a movie memory lane, and this came to me yesterday, and I saw the name of the title of the movie, and it took me back and made me smile a little bit. I don't know if anybody remember Love Jones. mm, mm, That was a movie years ago. Oh my goodness. It's one quote in that movie that I know for me as a woman, it just, I ain't gonna say, I really can't say, but I'm going to give you the quote. It says, rather, he said, "Who am I? Well, they call me brother to the night. And right now, I'm the blues in your left eye, trying to become the funk in your right." Is that right? Ooh, ooh, ooh. To this day, it brings chills to my spine. It's just hearing his voice say it. But overall, that movie was awesome. It was a love story. I mean, they had poetry night, which I love. And the cast just brought that movie to life. And it was so romantic to me. So I just wanted to bring y'all, a movie memory lane this morning. And next, I have a riddle of the day. And I know some of them can be corny, but I think they're fun. So I have a riddle. Okay, here it is. Riddle. You measure my life in hours, and I serve you by expiring. I'm quick when I'm thin and slow when I'm fat. The wind is my enemy. What am I? Anybody in the chat want to try to answer that? What am I? What's the answer? No one? Okay. The answer is a candle. A candle. See? Not too hard. Makes sense though, didn't it? All right, we're gonna have a quick debate. Pancakes versus waffles. Which one do you prefer? Personally, I prefer pancakes. I mean, oh, Lex Radio said waffles. Okay, well, pancakes. Well, you can put fruit and stuff on waffles. I guess, but pancakes is just flat and fluffier. Waffles have those grooves and everything in them. They're okay, but I prefer pancakes. I could put fruit on there. I mean, I can make blueberry pancakes, pecan pancakes, banana pancakes. You can't make banana waffles. I mean, you probably could. I've never had any. I've never seen any. But with the fruit and the whipped cream, okay, making me hungry. All right. As far as our book club, I know I announced that we were going to start a book club on the 6th, which is tomorrow. However, I've changed my mind. And what I'm going to do is the 48 Laws of Power. I am going to start reading a power a day, and we can discuss it. So starting on Monday, I will start reading, one of the chapters, whether it's giving you a summary of one of the chapters and, offering my interpretation of it. And if you would like to join in the chat and give me your interpretation of it, that would be just fine. Or you can DM me them and I will make sure that I read them on air. Now, there's something also that I wanted to start, and I'm starting it today. It's a cause of the week. A lot of people don't know or understand certain diseases and things that people go through. They hear, what heart disease is or Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and things like that. But a lot of people really don't know and understand what those diseases are or the symptoms. So I would like to inform people of what those are, because a lot of us are going through it, and you'd never know who's going through what. So my cause of the week is lupus awareness. Lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease where the immune system attacks healthy tissues and organs. Symptoms include extreme fatigue, joint pain, swelling, skin rashes, and fevers. It affects women of color. While there's no cure yet, treatments manage flare-ups and prevent organ damage. Raising awareness encourages early diagnosis and support. I know about this disease because I have lupus. I know about the symptoms, how it affects you, and you can't tell if someone has lupus or any other disease most of the time. So with that being said, be kind to everyone you meet, because you never know what battles they're facing. And it's not easy to say what you might be dealing with, but it's good to let some people know just in case, especially with diseases like this. Next week, I'll be covering a different disease or illness every day, so that you're aware. If you hear it or if you have a family member going through it, you'll be more informed. Okay. Now, I would like to take a moment to send up prayers to one of J.A.B Entertainment's loyal and faithful friends. She's a sister of ours. Her name is Blossom, and I would like to send up prayers for her and her family today. Okay, on to birthdays. We have a birthday for a special friend of J.A.B Entertainment. His name is Mr. out of DC. His birthday is actually tomorrow, but I wanted to shout him out today and tell him a happy birthday and enjoy his birthday weekend, and don't do nothing none of us really can't do, or don't get in trouble. You know what I mean? But enjoy your birthday. And today is actually Feature Friday. And Feature Friday is where I feature either a video or a post from someone somewhere on social media that really touched me, or affected me in some kind of way. And this week there was a post by one of my friends on Instagram. Her name is Anava. And if you're not following her, please look her up, follow her. Her name is spelled Anavah. She puts out the most awesome content regarding mindset quotes. And they are affirmations. They're quotes from different people. And the one that touched me the most was the one that she had posted yesterday. And I'm going to read it to you. So give me a moment. And I quote, it says, "Listen, don't let this world trick you into settling for something less than what your heart knows is real. Love is still worth fighting for. Love is still worth hoping for. Love is still worth preparing yourself for. Manifest and make room for love. Every day, prayer will make sense. Every lonely night, every tear, every prayer will make sense when love arrives." Ashe. I tell you, that hit me hard because, we go through life, either in a relationship, not in a relationship, and we find love, you know, um, but is it real? That's the question. But as you get older and you get wiser, you learn what you're gonna take and what you're not gonna take from someone. And what I've learned, the biggest thing to work on is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is very hard if you've lived your life a certain way. I mean, if you've never told anybody no, it's hard to start saying no, to someone, family, friends, or whatever. It's hard. So it's hard to come out of a certain, characteristic if you're not used to it. So just be patient with yourself. And if you're looking for love, like the quote said, it's worth waiting for. So just know who you are, know what you want, and go from there. It has been a pleasure this morning. I hope I gave you at least something to take on with you for your day. And it was a great week, starting week. I learned a lot, and I hope you did too. And I want you to go out and have a great day today. TGIF, it's Friday. So take a breath. You are today's feature worth celebrating. Period.